Everybody has emotions, and not everyone understands how to deal with their own emotions. There's this incredible increase in anxiety and stress among teenagers. I grew up in a divorced family. I lived with my mom. Kind of thinking back on what I missed out on growing up is I didn't have that constant father figure who was pouring into me. I don't know how many of these kids have someone pouring into them. What's really unique about the kind of job that I have is that in a lot of cases I get to know them from the time they come in as freshmen until they graduate.
It's Jera! Good morning!
When you spend that much time with kids and walking through so many different life experiences with them, you really kind of get to know what makes them tick. I think what we take away from other people is how we were treated by them. It's often not the words that were said, it was how were the words said. So if we're not careful, then the emotions that we're not even aware of could have a really bad impact on somebody. And if we're talking about sharing the gospel with people, we're the only Bible somebody may ever read. And if our emotions don't allow them to read it the way God intended for it to be read, then we're doing a disservice to being able to share that within the faith. I just see kids all the time, stressing and worrying and constantly not where they are. One of the things I try to remind the students all the time is just be where your feet are. There's all of those other distractions. They're going to be around you. If you're thinking about the test that's coming next period, you're not thinking about how to make this great sound. Or if you're thinking about, the way this person looked at you in the hallway, you're not thinking about making this great moment. I think getting kids to be centered where they are in the moment is one of the most important things we do. They go on and they're in a college, how are they going to deal with that first semester of finals? If they can get something out of that that says, just stay in the moment, don't worry about what's coming, don't worry about what just happened. Great musicians are great listeners, and you spell the word listen and silent with the exact same letters. And the other word that you can spell out of those words is the word still. So in order to be able to listen, you have to first be still. And this is where I think God's emotions that he wired into me come out, because I wear mine on my sleeve. That's just how I'm made. So, sometimes I'll get emotional and they'll see that that's okay. They'll see it's okay for a man to cry every once in a while, or, to get really intense about something. Being able to lead a program where we're constantly challenging and pushing kids to become better, but also in an area where they can feel safe to fail and then come back from that even stronger. Understanding what those emotions are and how we can embrace those and how we can understand them and how we can continue to learn from them, it really brings us back to God, this great creator, creating us uniquely and ultimately being comfortable enough to say, this is how you made me and I love you for that. I was looking at our practice field one day and I needed some exercise, so I started walking and I started talking. At first it was, I'd walk around the front of the field and I would just, I'd pray about a couple things, and the next time it was, I kind of got to the back of the field, and then before long it was 45 minutes of just circling the field in prayer. I started thinking about people that are going to be in that space, whether it was a student or whether that was a parent who is volunteering their time or whether it was one of our staff members. What I started seeing as a result of that was our students that I had specifically prayed for doing better at the things that we were doing. I mean, just every aspect of the things that were prayed about just seemed more vibrant. The front ensemble is playing, and they have a tendency to push slightly, okay? Why am I so passionate about it? I had some great influences when I was younger, and I saw how much of a difference that made in my life. I don't know how many of these kids have someone pouring into them, and why not me? If they're here and I'm here and God has put us in the same place, if they don't get it from me, they may not get it from anywhere. You guys have knocked it out of the park. I don't say it enough, but you guys have done a tremendous job. And I'm not talking about the big things, I'm talking about the relationship things. And the reason we have been successful is because of what you've done. I couldn't be more proud of you guys. I just couldn't.
There we go! Yes!
I got an email a couple weeks ago from a student who had a really, really rough time last year. And just kind of out of the blue, she says, hey, I just wanted to, let you know that I'm doing really well. This is what's going on in my life. I've got this great job. I'm going to college now. What I learned in being a part of the program really shaped who I'm becoming now. And like those moments those are the best.
You are ready!